Hey. What? Are you here? Are you listening? Can you hear me now? Do I need to move it closer? Testing, one, two, three. Is this thing on? Is there anybody back there? Hey, you with the mop over there. Your mama know you're out? Okay, look. Um, Unbelievable. This is testing audio, one, two, three. So this is like a voice memo, only it's in GarageBand, and it's April something. April 15th. How's that? Is that apropos? Fearless, not careless. Unite for world peace. Manifest your destiny. No, not Karl Marx, you Nimrod. Teach the people how to get along with one another because we already know how not to. So now I'm going to have water to keep my voice and throat fresh. And it's a beautiful, clear day on an island in the middle of the planet Earth, and you're all listening. Hopefully you'll stay listening, I guess. What are you doing these days, people? You sitting at home, staring at the walls, painting, watching the paint dry? Boy, oh boy. Have they got you messed up? Well, are you tired of it? Are you sick and tired of it? You sick and tired of the same old bullshit? You realize that you don't own anything when you die and they can't take nothing with you but your memories? Hopefully that. You don't own nothing. You're not the owner. Nobody's the owner, and nobody's the boss of you. Nobody's the boss of anybody. Nobody has the right to punish anybody. You all believe so because you don't know better. Because you're too busy running around, scrambling for money for rent or the loan or whatever you need the money for. Money culture's got to go, people. Capitalism's on its way down. How do I start all over? I wrote all this stuff down, and it's all out there, and I don't really want to reiterate all that crap because that was really a pain in the ass. But necessary. So, look, you're here, I'm here, no one's here to tell you what to do. It's Earth. You got 80, 90 years maybe if you're lucky. And you're all playing Monopoly like you're going to be the winner. Hello. Hello, you got 8 billion players and you think you're going to beat them all. And they've already organized to the point where they've got you censored on social media and regular media, corporate media, blah, blah, blah. The end of capitalism isn't the end of like communism or, I don't know, McCarthyism, or it's not like the end of a fad. Well, maybe it is. It's the end of a fad. But it's not like the end of your democracy. It's not the end of your country. It's not the end of your flag, your beliefs, your hopes, your values, your morals, and all that other shit you think you need. It's just the end of a phase. People had money and they used it and they kept using it and they kept you down and you've been subjugated all your life, and now you realize they're going to take all your money because they're circling the drain and they're grasping for any straw or anything floating that they can, like the people in the Titanic. But it's going down, baby, and there's nothing you can do about it. Ha, ha, ha. So live with it. Move on. It's like any other thing. You pick it up for a while, then you put it down because you don't like it no more. It's like a kid who has a toy. I don't want to play with that no more. I just bought it. Yeah, I don't like it no more. It's only been a day. Yeah, and that's exactly it. And in the life of times, capitalism is basically only a day. The world isn't going to fall apart. We're not going to start. It's not going to rain cats and dogs. Oh my God. Ugh. I think I need more coffee for this, but what are you slave for? What are you striving for? What are you doing? You're renting. You're playing rent. You're playing Monopoly. You're playing rent. You go here, you go there. You think it's the land of the free? Try going somewhere without any money. It ain't the land of the free. It's the land of you pay to go. So stop thinking it's the land of the free. Free to pay taxes. To who? Those people need to be arrested. You need to arrest the IRS, the government, anybody trying to use money or censorship or money power that makes the laws, that keeps the money laws in power. Hello? Someone in Gurkles. going in circles, round and round, and you just keep going, and you can't find a way out. But you all experience it, so that's one thing in common, other than needing air to breathe and water to drink. The only thing they exchanged was survival of the physically fittest to survival of the financially fittest. Basically, the nerds came out on top because they had all the time in the world because they weren't out getting laid. It's that period. It's that simple. And since they did that, they cornered the market, right? And they figured out, hey, we'll make everybody pay us because we can't kick their ass physically, so we'll put them under our thumb and subjugate them. And you all go along with it, like, hey, this is great. No problem. Hey, you're fucking me in the ass? You know what? I don't like being fucking in the ass, but you know what? I'm just fucking so comfortable with it that I think I'll just keep going with it. It's not a gay issue. It's not a homosexual issue. It's not an issue at all, other than the fact that you're a slave to money instead of a slave with chains. Money is the chain. And the only thing that's keeping that chain on you is that the belief that the money is helping you. Stockholm Syndrome, I don't know, maybe. I haven't really looked that thing up. But it sounds about right. You're bootlicking and you're all trying to police each other. Now you got a mask to wear. Isn't that hilarious? They tell you to wear a mask and like a classroom full of children, you're like, okay, no problem. Now what? Now stand on one head and recite the alphabet backwards. Hello, what are you doing? So you just don't have a common thread, or at least you don't think you do, because you're so widespread and worked out and stressed out and sick and tired of it all that you only get 2 days off in the week, and now they've given you a timeout, and in this timeout you're trying to figure out which ends up and who's right and who's wrong. Then you realize that the media's been lying to you all your life. And the media's been lying to you all your life, and then you realize, oh my God, why would they lie to us? Because they can. Because they have a motive, because they have intent to keep you from having what they got. They don't want any competition, because competition takes away from their slice of the pie. You get it? You're not stupid. You're just in the dark. So the Enlightenment's coming. It's here. I mean, Jesus, Age of Aquarius 2021. And you're still using money. They're still using money. Unbelievable. I wonder how long this thing will go on. There was an expert I might have to cut right here, but this thing, unlimited timing until I run out of power, or 1,000 minutes or whatever, 4 hours, whatever. Back to the rant. I guess it is a rant and a rave. And I guess maybe that this COVID break thing bullshit is part of just another thing. Y'all went and got a shot when you needed polio or chickenpox or the measles or those Spanish flu, and now it's COVID flu, and what's next? Right? The Mars flu, or it came from outer space flu. You better do as you say to protect our race. Right? And now you got people, tattletelling, hurting their feelings. I need an emotional support pet to travel. I mean, get real. You people fucking wake up. Tough shit. Grow up, okay? You got hurt feelings? Join the fucking club. There's 8 billion other people out there that get them too. You don't get a right to go out and sue for it or try to control behavior of other people for it. You're the boss of nobody. You have no authority over anybody else on this planet except yourself. So remember, think about before you open your fucking mouth and go out and say, hey, how come you're not wearing your mask? Or, hey, how come you're this? Or, hey, how come you're that? Right, it's like sticking your head up out in the prairie. You're like a little gopher. Well, that makes it a pretty easy shot for someone to shoot you if you got your head up above the ground, don't it? You gonna stick out like a sore thumb? Well, they're gonna find you. So don't go around acting as though you're the self-righteous one because of your beliefs, or your morals, or your standards, or your this, or there's this, your religion, or your that. Throw all that shit in the fucking dumpster and start working together, people, because there's only one thing that's going to make that boat float, and that's togetherness and unity. If you don't see that, then you're in the past. You don't know how it'll be without a money system? Go take a break and sit in a hammock for an hour and ponder it. You got Shit, you work at home, you got, plenty of time to ponder it now. Couldn't ponder it when you were working 40, 80, 60 hours, 120 hours a week or whatever it is you were doing. I've been working on 1 day a week. I don't know, more than 5 years. I can't know the real number, but I'd have to think about it. Not without coffee. Huh. But ponder it. Think about it. No money. No ownership, no possession. John Lennon was right about that. You just have to imagine. And if you can't imagine, then you don't have the time to imagine. If you don't have the time to imagine, you're stuck in the money culture loop that's keeping you there. That's well designed to keep you from imagining. And the only thing they are allowing to imagine is, in order to keep that, is to allow the ideas that keep that system in place. So you're in a locked box, a gilded cage or whatever, a well-designed prison, basically a mental prison. You get them, Bob Marley, mental slavery, keeping you down. There are no more chains. There are no more, shackles, except your mind. I mean, it's all over the net. It's all over Facebook. It's all over social media, which is also an extension of corporate media now because it's all ruled into a money system. So, of course, it's censored. You can't host without, abiding by the rules that they say. So that means they're controlling the people through fear of being fined for money in order to let people say whatever the fuck they want to say, because might get sued for a dollar amount of money for impugning or hurting their feelings for listening to a slur or an insult or whatever that they don't want. Like not hearing an insult or a slur is keeping them from being civil. Right? It's right. That's just behavior control, behavior modification. Like the correctional institutes, like, oh, you did something bad. They're on a crusade, right? The old Christian crusade is like, let's go get the bad doers. Like, let's do that all our lives. Like, let's make 80 years of our lives something to go get people that's doing wrong. Well, the only reason they're doing wrong is because the money culture pushes them to it. So it's a never-ending circular cycle that comes right back to itself. So all they're doing is wasting 80 of their years of their life playing cops and robbers. We're going, let's go get the bad guys because we're doing the right thing. The self-righteous bullshit that they pound into your head as a child. That, when you teach any human prior to the years of fucking being able to discern what's right and wrong or truth or not, like religion, you don't know that. I mean, that's mental rape. That's the same thing as mental statutory rape on a child's mind. He doesn't know you're lying to him. He's just trusting you. And so they grow up believing that, becoming an adult that believes that, and they fear whatever the hell you told them to fear. Well, if that ain't rape, I don't know what the fuck is mentally. Not physical, but mental. That sure the fuck is. That's sad because you're doing it to your own child because you believe it, because that's how you were taught and you didn't have any other choice because there was no choice available. Well, now there's a choice, people. There's a choice available. One, maybe it's a podcast. Maybe that's what we're all supposed to sit down and do is sit out, go home, turn on your goddamn computer and see if you can promote a broadcast and see who will listen to your flapping and rapping. But, and maybe they will and maybe they won't. But one thing's for certain, it ain't working the way it is. Look at them. They're broke. Here's the irony of that, or the debacle of that, or the whatever that other word is, it starts with a C. The conundrum of that is if you have a money machine that prints money, how can you be broke? And then if you're $2 trillion or $3 trillion or however many trillion dollars you are in debt, how can you claim to be in debt if you have a machine that prints money? And if you have a machine that prints money, why the fuck do we need any money? If you want to use the money system, I mean, greed is for one reason, but the other thing is if something, you want to build a bridge across part of the fucking canyon to get to the other side, you go, hey, Mr. Architect, how much is that? It's, it's going to be X amount of dollars. Okay, hang on a second. Hey, can you print out X amount of dollars over there and give that to the architect so he can give it to the guy who can build the bridges? And then that's it. You don't need to take any taxes from it. You just print it out. And if you need tax money, print it. You don't need my money. You don't need it from 8 billion other people on the planet. Why do you need it? Because you're a shitty fucking accountant. You can't keep your fucking book straight. Because if you did, we wouldn't be in debt. So it's greed or corruption or both is a mix. So hello. Print the fucking money for what you need and put it in the store so we can go get it. And then when you get to that point, what the fuck's the point for money for at all anyways? Fuck money. Money sucks my fucking dick. Okay? There's no point in it. Why are you keeping track of it? Something to keep track of. What for? What's the point of that? So you can have your fucking bank balance, checking account balance, so you know how to do that, so you know how to do fucking positive, negative, and in and out, and credit and debit bullshit. Fuck that. You need something, you get together and you build the fucking thing. Who's got the materials? Well, it's not like we didn't have the materials to make everything that we have right now sustainable. So it's already, you don't need to rebuild a factory for whatever it is the roads need, or whatever it is the building needs. If you're going to build a new building, you don't need to create a brand new hammer factory. 8 billion people don't need their own fucking hammer. The people who are going to build it are going to use the hammers. And then you put them in a hammer storage fucking place, and it's when you need something, you go to the storage place and you grab the hammer and you build the fucking thing, and then you put the hammer back. And if you break one, you build, right? You already got a forge, so you go make another one. There's no point in paying people to do those things and then take taxes out of that stuff to say that you're contributing, and then you don't give them any health care, and then you don't give them any, and then you make them charge them for their food, their water, their electricity, their rent, their mortgage, their whatever the fuck they want to fucking charge you for. And then when you sell the house, right, they want to sell that to you, and then they want a part of that. Well, if that ain't crime, I don't know what is. And you know it's crime. Property is theft. TSOL said that back in 1980. The punk rock band. So, playing along those lines, the fact is you just weren't enlightened to it before, and you are now. So, now you have the internet, and you can talk to 8 billion people. If 8 billion people had a phone or at least an outlet, you can put public kiosks across the planet and go, hey, what's your 2 cents? Push a button. Oh, yeah, I heard somebody wants to do this and do that over there. Okay, great. What do we need to build in Africa? Oh, they need an aqueduct. Or we're going to get the fucking water from. I don't know. We're going to make it rain. Or we need a new road and, whatever in order to get there. But we're not going to tax you for the road or the fucking asphalt or the fucking gas to get in the car to get there, and the plane ride there, and the food on the plane to get there, and the fucking movie to watch on the plane to get there. Fucking jackasses. Let's fucking tax them for everything. Those are the people that need to be in jail. People thinking like that. Fucking abolish the IRS, abolish taxes, abolish governments fucking using money to fucking make laws to keep people down in order to keep them paying money. Get rid of that shit. Get rid of censorship. And fucking you let it all out. Once you let it all the fuck out, you let people listen to that shit, all that shit that we were doing before, that your parents and the parents' parents and the parents' parents' parents and everybody back to whenever the fuck they were, that were subjugated to fucking paying that shit, right? That's fucking redemption and retribution and fucking, what do you call it? Avenging? That avenges them, I guess, to a certain degree, because they paid for it their entire life, being subjugated to paying. And if you don't know how life would be without money, then you haven't learned to share, right? You need to sue somebody because you got fucking an insult to you, or you hurt your feelings. You're just emotionally insecure and immature. I'm like, what are you going to be because you weren't insulted, or because you didn't hear a racial slur? I mean, if you're that fragile, maybe you ought not be on the planet. Jesus. Can you pause this thing and then start again? How does that work? Okay, record. Is this take 2? So, wherever I left off, however many minutes ago, I mean, you can see it on social media. You can see it on, can't see it on corporate media. Like they say, the revolution won't be televised. They televised the ending of capitalism. We saw that. But they won't show you their own collapse. There's no transparency. You don't see, how come there's not a television show of here's the budget for your country? This is what's not cutting it. And these are the people that aren't cutting it for you. And these are the people that are lobbying with money in order to get it said, like Prop 19 in Cali. And yeah, they want to they want to step up your bases because couldn't find any other money because they're piss poor fucking broke. But they want to keep their job, so they have to squeeze somebody for it. So then they went after everybody and decided to take your inheritance tax or to tax you for swapping property. So you don't own anything. So yeah, you got 3 or 4, 10 houses or whatever. You're playing prize property. But you don't own it, you're leasing it because you can't take it with you when you die. And the fact of ownership is just appalling for one. It's like, oh, I want to own this piece of land. This is the land we came from. Now we're going to charge you to stay on our land. Hello? Humans are just trying to figure out which way's up. And when they get an influx of bad information, right, they figure they'll just follow the Pied Piper they've been following all their life, like a bunch of rats. And they keep on going, and they don't question it, Challenge everything, they said once upon a time, someone out there. Question everything. You got to question it all. Like where do humans learn how to, I don't know, save a planet, right? Saving a planet for dummies. Is that in the library somewhere? No, you're not tear it down and use it, or destroy it, and turn all the rivers that were once clear to fucking mud, or toxic waste, or Jesus, forget it. I mean, name a river that ain't clear, or that is clear. That's the harder thing to do. Where's the coalition for make all the rivers on the planet as clear as they were before we fucked it all up? You don't want a brown river. Maybe there's mud in the river, but if there's sewage or toxic waste or radiation, burying radiation from that stupid idea of nuclear energy. You can't get it from the sun, man. Let's charge them for it. Let's charge them for coal and gas. And obviously, green's the way to go. It's that simple. You can get wind. If the trees can do it, we can do it. Jesus. The plants can do it, we can do it. The grass can grow without, right? It grew on the prairies naturally without pesticides for eons. There's the GMO bullshit. I mean, it's not the issue that we're trying to attack here, because those are irrelevant. The only reason there are issues to talk about is because of the culture that creates them, and it's not about addressing each issue, because that's what's tearing us apart. The only thing bringing us together is living on a planet that you still has fucking oxygen and water in order to breathe and live. And if that ain't your focus to sustain that, then you shouldn't be part of the human race. You should be, your efforts to draw lines on a map and part it out and sell it off, and that's ludicrous. That's baffling. It's like, why? What would you? In order to what? In order to count? In order to have a mountain, a mountain of gold, and then sit on the gold and go, "Hey, this is great. I got a mountain of gold. Now I'm done. Then what? Then you're done. 8 billion people can't sit at the top, but 8 billion people can work together and make it livable. That's for sure. Do we really need pesticides? Do we really need uh, to modify the seed that's been working for itself from whatever creation or evolution or whatever set it here? You know, not to get into God and religion and values and morals and ethics. Fuck all that shit. That's for you to fucking deal with in your own life, but not to fucking relate to other people and punish them for it or reward them for it. What a waste of fucking life. Keep your fucking shit to yourself and keep your shit together. Work together already. Man. You want to teach your family one way or another because of this way or that way? Fine. Don't come knocking on the fucking door and don't go around setting up things, I got a right to my freedom of this and my freedom of that. You ain't got shit. You got a right to pay fucking taxes and die. Until you work together to remove that kind of shit. To look above it, to look back at it and go, that's really useless. Like looking at money on the ground going, what the hell is that? Some guy printed a coin, made $1 and said, you need to use it this way? Fuck you. You can have your opinion. You can have your ethics and your morals and your religious beliefs, and that's fine. Just keep them in your fucking house and keep them in your brain. Don't be going out trying to tell other people they need to be that way. Are you actually thinking about trying to tell other people how to fucking live their life? Really? Who died and left you, boss, motherfucker? Nobody. So shut the fuck up. You don't like it? Tough shit. You don't like to hear racial slurs, or you don't like to hear insults. Too fucking bad. If there's only one freedom of speech, then it's uncensored. And if you don't like to hear it, then shove your head up your ass so you don't. Put some earplugs in. Because nobody gives a rat's ass. Because we're not here to placate your fucking hurt feelings or your butthurt fucking insecurities. And the only reason you think that you can go out and do that shit and punish other people is because of rights and through the money culture. Well, then if I don't get my way, because everybody wants their own way, everybody thinks it's Burger King, I'll get what I want, when I want, how I want. And if you step in my way, then, hey, it's fisticuffs or it's my gun or your knife or our laws or our beliefs. Fuck all that. What a bunch of shit. People are going around in circles with your fucking head cut off like a chicken. Get real. Live together. Share. What you need to start doing is start sharing. Start teaching them how to share. Not teaching them how to get what they want. Because we can give you everything you need. And if you had everything you need, and you got what you needed, there are no wants. Except to be what? Ego? Super ego? Id ego and whatever the fuck the other one is. Super ego? Super ego. It's amazing we survived this long without so much fucking misinformation or disinformation or just the information alone. You gotta weed through all the shit, whether one guy believes this or you believe that, or you want to stay friends with somebody who believes this way, or you found out that they believe a different way. Quit being drawn apart and separated through all that shit. Throw all that shit in the trash can. Go, okay, what do we need? We need food, water, shelter, medicine. Food, water, shelter, medicine. Air and sleep and sex. So those are the jobs. Those are the jobs you create. None of this bullshit money. I'm gonna open up a fucking mom and pop store or create my hobby outlet or see if people will buy my shit store. I think that's called Congress. Or force you to believe their shit through lobbying, through money power. And it all comes back to money. Now, you say that's easy to do, that's easy to attack because it's so prevalent. That's the problem with it. It's so prevalent. Now try it without it. We've tried it with it, and well, look, we're all sitting at home with a fucking thumb up our ass trying to figure out what the fuck to do. Some great fucking design that was, huh? Boy, that worked out well. First prize to that loser. That's just a bad idea on the drawing board. It's time to erase that and start over. So let's start over in 2021. Everything for free to everybody, everywhere on the planet forever. You get all the food you need, you get all the water you need, you get all the shelter you need, you get all the medicine you need. There's no more junk food. There's no more unhealthy drive-thrus. There's no more fast food like that. No more processed crap in order to make a dime. Right? You build the planet to make air. You build the planet to sustain clean air, clean water, clean food that doesn't have to be modified. And medicine that's going to work, which is called marijuana or hemp or CBD. You don't need Bayer or fucking pharmaceutical company or an insurance company for that matter. Insurance, that's the biggest joke on the planet. Here, we're going to insure your life. Yeah? You mean I'm not going to die? No? Well, then shut the fuck up and go away. Fucking snake oil salesman. Jesus. It'll cure everything. Well, the only thing it does that is the closest thing to nature's. It's starting to sound like it's only marijuana. No wonder they suppressed it. And you only got to use coal and oil and whale oil. Yeah, let's murder the animals and get oil from them so we can see at night. Fucking dipshits. Jesus. Oh, man. Humanity, huh? What a joke. Up till now. And shelter. And anybody can build a shelter. Hell, they can prefab them now. So you give them all that. And those are the jobs that you create to sustain that. So you farm. You work in water engineering to keep water pure or clarify it or keep it from having some sort of waterborne bacteria or disease that turns into some bullshit that's out there. Because if you let it go sour, yeah, it'll go sour and it'll kill you. Or a plague or whatever. Right? Like they say now, the only pandemic is that you believe there's a pandemic. Now, I'm not all saying that you shouldn't all go around and sneeze on everybody and stick your tongue down their throat and pass your cooties or whatever the fuck you got onto each other. But it's not like we were standing in line, hugging each other going, hey, let me cough on you. I just got, whatever. I just had the 30-day flu or the 2-week flu. Let me give you that. And people in the food industry, yeah, they should be masked and they should be gloved and handling the food that we're going to eat. In the water department, and if there's like air toxicity, well, that's called oil and burning and carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide, you build a car that doesn't fucking exhaust carbon monoxide. Build a car that sucks in the carbon monoxide and puts out fresh water or whatever, instead of burning something that makes cancer. We don't have a cure for cancer. We don't know what it's caused from. And it's caused from environmental effects from using cars and jet planes and trains that were burning all kinds of shit that's not supposed to be there. The cavemen weren't going, I think I ought to wear a mask because all this carbon monoxide from, this stone vehicle that I push with my feet is killing me. Jesus. Man. So, take it all that crap with a grain of salt and change it. And if you can't change it, then what's the point of you helping out? I mean, really, people all got the fear that, well, people won't just sit around and do nothing. No, your job is to help the water be clear. Your job is to help the air be clear. Your job is to help the food to be produced and shipped and and trucked all over the planet, and so everybody anywhere can have everything they need whenever they go. And if they get sick, then they take a fucking marijuana pill, and away you go, and nobody's sick, nobody's fat and overweight, nobody's got diabetes, and nobody's got some sort of disease that came from God knows where. Versus, genetic accidents or genetic impurities or blindness or whatever, hearing, deaf or whatever, a disability to that thing, to that effect, or a challenged thing, whatever. But if you rule out all the environmental aspects of that crap, I'm pretty sure that shit would cut back down to nothing as well. Crime, you get rid of crime when you get rid of money. There's nothing to strive for. There's no scarcity and no lack. Just go Google the Venus Project or even the TMZ or TZM Zeitgeist movement. Not to the point where you're so upset and mad that you got to go out and tell everybody like it's knocking on door from religion to religion. Look, this is the way it's got to be. But there's a mix in there, and there's a balance in there. I mean, that you can create all that stuff without a problem. And if you just sustain the planet and live in harmony with it and stasis and balance, then there's no point in fighting over land or whatever. There's no need to have a state or 50 states or a country or 100 countries or 200 countries or however many the fuck there are. And you travel for nothing. Everywhere you go, you don't even need a bag. Everything is already made, right? There will be no more shopping centers or malls. There'll be outlets for things that you could use that you had. And you migrate the planet by seeing the wonders of the planet, of what we did and how we're helping it, not how we're ruining it. Oh yeah, you can go see the Taj Mahal, but you know what? There's 500,000 other people in front of you. So you might get a glimpse of it. Or there won't be any smog or pollution and all that kind of crap. You want to go see Europe, or you want to go see all the continents, even the Antarctic. You want to go see all the continents. They have everything for you to go and travel it and see it, and you don't need to lift a bag or pay a dime. That you can create easily. You just have to get rid of the mindset that you have to charge for it, or that it costs something. It doesn't cost anything if you're willing to make it for nothing. And if you're not willing to make it for nothing, then you need to really look at that. You need to really look into that about yourself. Because if you can't do it out of the goodness of your heart, what's stopping you from doing that? What's stopping you from doing it out of the goodness of your heart? Only the culture you were raised in that taught you that you need to charge for it. It's that simple. And if you can't get past that, sure, I can see how they'd call you sheep. No problem. Right. You just do as they say, not as they do. Because nobody's coming out on top, people, if there's one person with all the marbles. Except for there's one person with all the marbles against all the rest of the people. And I'm pretty sure that outnumbering, the majority's going to win there. You take away the money, there's nobody to work. There's nobody to protect your money. There's nobody to protect you, right? Because nobody's going to protect somebody else for free. Or are they? Or will they? Not if it leads to subjugation to other people, they won't. They only do it now because cops think that their paycheck is more valuable than their life, which it's not. Your life is not worth more, or is not worth less, or your paycheck's not worth more than your life. So you need to think about that profession. You need to rethink that a lot. If you're in there engaging in, well, I'll keep you from running out on the baseball field, or I'll keep you from doing this, or I'll try that because that's my job. And if that's your only motive, that I'm doing my job and you're impeding my job, right, then I'm going to start arresting you and all that other bullshit, and that goes on. And that's the only reason that comes back right down to is you're getting paid to do something because you're not doing something else. Like, I don't know, taking tickets at the movie theater, or whatever, or whatever your hobby bullshit strip mall job is. So all those outlets go away, and all that land gets returned right back to natural. And you plant shit, and you plant and shit to grow that gets rid of, that clears the atmosphere, like hemp and marijuana and trees and plants instead of, concrete and another outlet to steal your money. Jesus. If you're having a hard time seeing how that's going to work out, you just haven't thought about it enough. Take 6 days off a week, and believe me, you'll have free time to think about that like I've been doing. And you realize, okay, well, there's the problem. That might be the root. But how do you get them unaddicted from it? Right? They all need to be in rehab. They all need to be re-educated. And maybe that's what this is. We're all being re-educated by putting our 2 cents out there. But you got to put it out there without a condition. People don't know what the fuck love is. It's like, oh, my idea of relationship is that now I get to tell you to do all this shit. And that ends in divorce. Or murder, or worse, or both, or incarceration and murder. That's sad, because now they think they have a set of rules to believe one way or the other against how you ought to behave while you're here with me. Monogamy, commitment, marriage, come on. That's just all propaganda been promoted by the thing to keep you together, to keep you working in order to have joint taxes. Hello? Jesus. Yeah, you get a break, but they give them a break because there's two. And it doesn't matter if it's a man or woman or man or woman. It doesn't matter the gender they allow, right? As long as the money keeps coming in, which gets you right back to, what do they need our fucking money for if they got a printing press? So you gotta stand back up on the hill and take a better view and a better perspective, or get up in a hot air balloon and look down on the land and go, okay, boy, those people just fucking sitting in traffic for fucking hours on the 405 freeway. What a bunch of fucking idiots. And breathing in all that exhaust. They're the ones that all got cancer. They're sucking the tailpipe of the car in front of them for 30 miles. Hello. Man. So there's a better way. And all you have to do is promote it like you promote anything else on television. Like a commercial ad or a beer ad or any other ad that you've seen 2,000 times that you don't need to see another Coke ad because you already know Coke fucking exists. And if you want one, you go down to the fucking store and get one. But you don't need to see an ad for it. You don't need to see an ad for anything. That gets back to that pet peeve of ads. You want ads on a television station or a radio station? Make a station for ads. Put all the fucking ads, all you want. You want to pay all your money to fucking put an ad on there to run 24/7, and we'll tune to the ad station if we want to, but keep it off of the fucking airwaves and out of the goddamn speeches and off the YouTube and off the social media. We don't need to see a pop-up of why this or that, or here I've got something new. Here's Buy Pet Rock. Fuck you. I don't need to see there's a new thing here, a new thing there. If I want to go see that shit, I'll tune to fucking, 106.7999 on the fucking end of the dial. Or all AM stations. That ain't really being used for shit. And leave the rest of it unhampered and unhindered. None of the music stations need, a 10-minute video with 5 fucking pop-ups in the middle for 5 seconds. That's just bullshit. Abolish that, right? Flat out. Get that out of the way. You're just stalling the information process from being delivered because you paid to interrupt it, right? Oh, get rid of that. And that reduces stress. So if you're going to reduce stress, then reduce it all the way out. Just get rid of the money. Just get rid of the money. You'll mow your own lawn. You won't even have a lawn to mow. You won't have property because you won't live in a house. You'll live in a house, but you won't live in your own land. You won't have to put up a sign that says no trespassing. Hey, stay the fuck away from me. I'm trying to make my own money so I can live my own life. So you can't bother me. So you stay the fuck off my property or I'll shoot you or take you to court. Right? You get rid of all that shit. People don't know how to learn how to live. People don't know how to live together. They know how not to live together very well. But it's getting them to live together in peace. And the only way that happens is by abolishing money, getting rid of capitalism, consumerism. You don't need to buy anything. You need a food outlet? Boom. Build a fucking 3 times the size or 500 times the size Costco. That's where the food is. You go get it. We'll find a way to get it there. That'll be our jobs. You won't have to ego trip of having the house on the point with a fucking 200-foot pool and it'll only be your third home that you only visit fucking 2 times out of the year. That's wasting electricity and power and energy just to keep it going while you're not there. I mean, that's just a joke. So I can have somebody else mow my lawn or clean my pool or whatever the fuck else they do, and then charge you for all the electricity. And with solar, right, that puts an electric company and all companies, and it puts business and economics right out of the realm of humanity. There's no need to keep it, right? You just go, oh, that's fucking up our economics. Well, hey, guess what, buddy? There's no more money. There's no more economics. Don't you get it? You're thinking of the past. You're stuck in the past. Quit living in the past there, buddy. Right? They got millions of songs about, men and women singing about living in the past, and doesn't get you anywhere except for looking backwards. And that's not moving forward. And that's the same thing with money. Staying in the money system keeps you looking backwards, keeps you stuck in that realm, and keeps the whole turmoil of not being together in unity and being as one and working together. It keeps us all separated. And that's got to go. Like that guy, like Jack says at the Venus Project, this shit's got to go. Right. And I'm pretty sure he's talking about money. So think about it, ponder it, go home, sit in the hammock, roll a joint, kick back, talk to your family, community, whatever the fuck you want to do about it, and go, what would life be without money? Not whatever you would do, not your fears. We talk about it every week. Don't just talk about it once and go, oh, well, that's never going to go. That's never going to pan out. I got to go back to work on Monday. Quit talking about it. Quit bothering me with it. That kind of shit. You talk about it all the time. And you put it out there like a Coke commercial or a Pepsi commercial or a car commercial or beer commercial, whatever those fucking commercials they run 1,000 times a day in order to keep their air on, and in order to keep their censored air on, their censored information. And once you get rid of that, there's no more censorship. When there's no more censorship, then all the information and all the ideas and all the creative thoughts are unleashed. There's no more restriction for them, and everyone gets to hear them. Whether they like them or not, it's up to them. But curtailing them or censoring them is definitely a restriction on humanity's growth, intellectually, mentally, and eventually, and ultimately physically, to a degree. I'm not going to do this because I already thought that I can't do that. If you think you can or can't, you're right. So stop thinking you can't. So how do you build a system? How do you build a culture with no money? After you've talked about it and after you've globally voted on it, now that you can do that. You can have a global vote of, no, we're not going to do that anymore. We all got our food. We all got our shelter. We all got our electricity. We all got our power, energy. We all got our water and food, medicine. We got everything any human needs to live. Anybody comes to planet Earth, here it is. It's all right there. You don't have to pay for it. Because we sustain it. Because we work together to sustain it in order for it to be available. Hey, so there was a mudslide and we don't have oranges this year, or no coca leaves for medicine or whatever. It's like, so we rebuild or grow in a different area. Big deal. Right? Not fucking, how come I didn't get any wine from France this year? Because they had a fire in the vineyard. Because the guy was trying to fucking claim his insurance illegally. And there wouldn't be illegally. There wouldn't be legal or illegally stuff. Or illegally stuff. You wouldn't have that. Because you would operate through common sense. You'd know not to step on the ant or fucking put your foot on the puppy's neck or swing the cat around by its fucking tail. If the cat didn't fucking kill you already from it. Because you wouldn't have a negative experience. You wouldn't have a bad bullying experience. You wouldn't have I couldn't make enough this week, so my wife won't fuck me, so I'll beat the shit out of the kids and fucking with the belt or the wrench. You wouldn't have that. That would all be gone. You'd have everything you needed, so you go, oh, fuck. Hey, you'd walk by and everybody would be smiling and you'd be traveling the world and you'd say, hey, what the fuck's going on, man? I don't know, man. I got everything I need. You got everything you need? Fuck yeah, this is great. And you'd all be friends. It's like being on a plane going to the same place. Now you can't even talk on the fucking plane, let alone get on one. They got you all wrapped up like a mask. They're teaching everybody fucking S&M, BDS&M, fucking master and servant tricks of the trade. Here, baby, why don't you try this ball gag instead of that mask? Let's play a little master and servant, and let's teach our kids that. What does that tell you about it? Surprise. Next, right? What's next? You're gonna hand out. Now you need to wear a blindfold. You can't drive, so you can't see this. We need you to wear this blindfold along with that mask. Then we need you to walk into the bank. Oh, they used to walk in the bank with sunglasses and a hat, and then they made a rule you can't come in with sunglasses and a hat because they thought they were being robbed. Now you got a mask on. They can't give you facial recognition fucking cameras. They can't see who the fuck you are, and you can't get in without one. Okay? And if you don't think that's enough proof to tell you the society's fucked up, that it needs a change, then you're either fucking in a coma or you're fucking dead. Or you're too goddamn distracted trying to make money in order to try to keep the peace. And how far does it go? If you don't push back, they'll walk right over you and pave a new road. And it won't matter what you had to say. Your 2 cents won't matter dick. So you better get online and fucking say your 2 cents or write it out or send it in to someone who can put it out there. But you got to get rid of the money in order so you can have it uncensored. Sure, you can say it without profanities or insults or whatever, but hey, that's just more colorful. Maybe that's part of character. What's the big deal? It's not intended to hurt you. If it hurts you, then it's your own insecurity and your own frailty. That's your problem. That's an inner problem you need to decide to attack or address. You don't go around trying to change other people's behavior because it doesn't suit you. Fuck you and the horse you rode in on. Or the rock you crawled out from under. Offended. There won't be offendedness. I mean, you maybe get offended. I mean, you might see a traffic accident or something and go, oh my God, that guy's head's cut off. But all in all, I mean, sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. You just got to live by that. And if they do hurt you, then that's your own personal lack of growth or immaturity or maturity. It's not that hard to see. I'm not advocating wear a mask or don't wear a mask. It doesn't matter about that. I mean, you get sick and you die from COVID, maybe you're supposed to die from COVID. Maybe your body's already fucked up enough that one more fucking thing in it's going to kill you. Or maybe you're healthy enough and it just bypass you and you're a carrier. Or running around paranoid trying to police each other, that's only going to lead to harm. And that's not good. That's something you really got to quell. It will get out of hand, not just economically, feasibly speaking, because we won't know how to control the people other than fucking, everyone's bullshit out there. Oh my God, martial law, Agenda 21, or QAnon, or whatever the fuck they got going on, or whatever it is. Your paranoia will destroy you. And I'm not going to be a victim or statistic of your fucking paranoia. I don't have to live by your hangups. You got a hang up about this or that, keep it to yourself. Don't go around trying to change everybody with that. And maybe that's what this is. I'm trying to change the culture. In my own way, maybe that's hypocritical of me, but one thing's for certain, it ain't working this way. So change it, and there's time to change it. The capitalism is a fucking train on a fucking track that's fucking closed. And they're going fucking, we need more fucking steam. Full speed ahead. Fucking idiots. And if you're smart enough to know it is the root of all evil, or it is a destructive force, stop using it. How many times are you going to hit your thumb with a hammer? It only takes once, right? To realize, okay, I know where my thumb is now. Okay, I'm going to move my hand. I'm going to move my hand a little bit further back, or I'm going to use something else to hold that goddamn nail. It only takes once. You don't sit there and smash your hammer to a pole, your thumb to a pole. Unless you're really fucking retarded, or stoned, or fucking drunk. And that's the other thing, alcohol, right? Right? Legal. So that means everyone that's using it, that's in money power, is an alcoholic. So we're taking advice from alcoholics who talk in circles and go round and round about the same fucking point. No wonder they can't move forward. No wonder they can't evolve. What a joke. But hey, don't get me wrong, I used to drink well. And now I don't. It's been 6 years. But I started saying this shit back when I was drinking in 2005. But I've been saying this since I was 14 years old. Since I seen my dad sit there and write down, sit at the table and write out checks to the bills. So what the fuck you doing? So I'm writing out the bills. This is how we live. I said, fuck that. I'm never doing that. My dad laughed. That's how it is. It's the way it goes. It's the way we've been doing it. I said, there's got to be a better way. At 14 or 13, there's got to be a better way. Right? You tell children, you try to explain money to children. They go, well, that's silly. It's still silly. If you ever said that when you were a child, it's still silly. Yet you adhere to it because you don't combat it. Because you don't question or challenge it. And it's time to question and challenge it. And it's time to abolish it and ban it. And when you're on board with that, then you start thinking that way. And when you start thinking that way, then ideas come and you go, okay, how do we get rid of this shit? Right? You don't chemotherapy it where it tries to kill the entire host. That's not too bright. Oh, marijuana kills it? Oh, well, why don't we just start taking marijuana? Okay, that's easy. We got enough of proof of that. And not marijuana to fucking forget the day or to zone out and be a zombie or to lay on the couch and order Domino's, but to use it as a medicine so you're not sick, so you can sustain the water and the air and the food and the medicine and the shelter and the sleep and the sex and the love. That's pretty much it in a nutshell right there. How many hours is that on here? Minutes on here? That's pretty much all I've been saying for the past forever. And you get some people to agree, and you get some other people think that you're off your fucking rocker. You're the conductor of the crazy train. Yoo-hoo, that's right. Let your crazy run wild, man. What do you think we were fighting for back in the 80s to get the hell out of the established school? And now we're out of it. No one's in school because they realize that that's all they're doing is breeding them to be taxpayers. Stop breeding them to be taxpayers. Breed them to be making everything for nothing for everyone. Share. Kids share. And adults don't because they run right into that world because they're too goddamn afraid to question or challenge it for fear of death or incarceration. Well, if that's it, then all you have to do is get the majority on your side, and then that becomes the minority and a distant fucking memory. And everyone lives happily ever after, literally, from that point on. It doesn't take much to see that. Not when you got the time to ponder it, to wonder about it, to have creative ideas on it and support it. That's all you got to do. And once you do that, then you'll share ideas that way and you'll have new things to talk about other than the fucking weather when you're sitting around picking your nose or picking your ass or laying at the beach or traveling the planet for free. For free. And you won't sit on a piece of property. And there won't be a pandemic, and there won't be a flu from whatever. And there won't be closed doors meetings, and there won't be covert operations, and there won't be, people trying to devise ways to screw you out of your dollar. Because there won't be any. There won't be any to get. You'll have to actually mature and have a conversation with people through your disagreements. And you'll agree to disagree and move on your way. Yeah, that's great for you, buddy. Have a nice day. Go get some free fucking food, man. Then I'm going to go jump in the ocean. Then I might have dinner at the fucking Eiffel Tower. And in the morning I might have breakfast over in fucking Cairo. Or go around the world and fucking on a plane and see how long it takes. Only the plane will be a non-fossil fuel burning, non-polluting vehicle. So we can do that. So we don't hurt. So we don't make our other brothers and sisters work twice as hard in order to keep that going so we can do that kind of shit. And you'll do it on every continent. You'll find out where the best shit grows and where the best stuff is made, and you'll only make those. You won't need to go into a drugstore or supermarket and see 80 different types of fucking brands of one fucking thing. Why do you need 5 different brands of peas? So 5 different companies can make money? We build the peas here. We put them in a can. We ship them to the thing. Those are peas. We don't need to know that they're fucking from Swanson's or Del Monte or 4 other different fucking peoples. We give a rat's ass how it's prepared, who prepared it. It's just prepared now. Until you can get, matter to energy to matter converters. So you can just say, you talk to a machine and boom, it spits out a whatever you want. I like lasagna. Boom, there it is. Right? That day's coming eventually, but we won't get there in the money system. You'll have to put a quarter in. Fucking dipshits. Can do it for free, but they don't. And that's all because of cultural upbringing. So if you change that cultural upbringing, you can 99% of all the fucking bullshit that we're weeding through right now. And if something comes up that we haven't seen because something new comes up from a different culture, because somebody else has tried to wiggle their way around that and try to get back to that, that's the only thing you punish. Anyone trying to reuse money. You make that the bad behavior. You make that the only illegal thing. And the rest of the shit, if somebody starts, it's like living on an island. You start doing bad, they're going to see you. Well, they're going to take care of you too. And if you start doing good, then everybody sees you doing good. Then they go, hey, that guy's doing good. And you don't have unbalanced or maladjusted or culturally uh, uh, influenced negative behavior, right? Guys fucking you don't have your serial killers and your mass murderers because there's no point in being because you've never been denied the basics or gotten your way to at least to the point of the basic things you need to live on. So there's no need to act out. And that way you change the frequency. It comes back to frequency. Now it comes back to, what are you admitting? What are 8 billion people admitting? Besides the stress and the fear and the trauma of not having enough. And everyone's a transmitter and everyone's a receiver. So if you're fearing death, everyone's feeling that fear and everyone's receiving that. So if that's out there, right? That's terrorism to a certain degree. I don't need to hear your fear of death 24/7. I don't need you to always be broadcasting a bad signal. Let's change your signal. Don't fear it. Don't fear the reaper, like the wind and the summer and the rain. You just go. Or rape, right? You don't have any fucking fear of that because 4 billion women are worried about fucking rape all their lives. So that's a transmittal. That's a frequency that's being transmitted that you don't want to pick up on. And the more you're around it, the more it happens. Or inequality through money or through work, through gender or race. None of that will ever exist. You just have to change that simply by getting rid of the money. You all work the same. Right? You stop setting value to things. That's the biggest step. Right? They say, "Well, we'll go back to barter." No, you're not going back to barter. We're giving it to you for free. You understand that? We're giving it to you for free. We're giving you the energy for free. We're giving you the food for free. We're giving you the water for free. We're giving you everything for free. And until we get rid of the gas vehicles, gas will be free. You just need a form of transportation that doesn't cost anything. And if you can't fantasize or realize or speculate or ponder or wonder that stuff, you're too distracted. Or the frequency of hate or the frequency of any negative emotion, right? You don't have to have everybody or scarcity of not having enough or being mad for that matter because you didn't get your way, because the culture wouldn't allow you, because you didn't make enough money, or you lost your paycheck on the way home, or somebody mugged you or robbed you because they needed it more than you did at that moment. And hopefully they didn't take your life or maim you or hurt you in some way. So once you get rid of all those negative emotions that are being transmitted and received, right, then you transmit and receive the good always, because everybody will have everything they need. And if anything comes up out of that, from that, if there's a negative side byproduct or outcome of that, then you can address that, because that'll be the only fucking issue. Because 99% of the other shit is gone now. And you have to realize that would be the only thing stopping you from believing that is yourself. And the continued adherence to it's always been that way. It'll only be that way. Not in my lifetime will it change, blah, blah, blah. None of that shit. Throw all that shit out the window. You got a problem? Throw it out the problem window. Get rid of that shit. Let the fuck go. Because you feel it. You feel the negative energy. I do. I live on an island. When I go to a major city, there's a totally different frequency and a totally different wavelength and a total different vibration. Or some other places you go and you get a really positive feeling. You go, wow, it feels really good here. There must not be a lot of that. There must be a lot of sharing going on here. I like the Hawaiians and the Aloha spirit. And we go off on that. Right? Give. Never take. The more that The less that you give, you're a taker. Black Sabbath. It's they've been singing it since I've been alive, and all that shit's coming true now. They were just singing to make. I mean, they were singing to make money, but I mean, they had a message that was allowed to be expressed. I mean, it wasn't, I guess there are other places that censorship is way more severe. But in a land of the free and the home of the brave that's supposed to have freedom of speech, the last thing, if anything, that should be around is censorship for anything. You can say whatever the fuck you want, whenever the fuck you want, to whoever the fuck you want, wherever the fuck you want, all day, every day, all your fucking life. That's freedom of speech. And if you're against that, then that's un-American. Or that's unfreedom of speech. And if you're going to have freedom of speech, then you're going to have it everywhere. Because curtailing freedom or censoring speech is one thing that's worth loading a musket. A lot of places they're fucking Uzi. Or their AK-47 or their home shotgun or their revolver. But it doesn't need to come to that. You won't even need weapons. That comes back to that. You won't even need a weapon. You won't need mace. You won't need a rape alarm. You won't need a taser or handcuffs. You won't even need fucking police. That's not a hopeless pipe dream. That's fucking reality. It only seems hopeless because you're adhering to the way you were raised and you haven't let go of that. You're blocking. Stop blocking. You're blocking yourself. Stop blocking. You need to go with the flow. And the only restriction is the money. Is the money cold? And the power of the money power means money has a way and it has a power to enable or disable whatever who has more of it to give in order to promote one way or the other. That's money power. And they're making rules on that shit. They're making laws on that shit. They're enforcing laws on that shit. Right? It's one sick, deprived, fucking criminally corrupt culture. And that's sad. Right? Right? Just thinking, say you're in another galaxy or another planet, and you say, hey man, let's go to Earth. No, they're still using money. Fuck them. That's fucked up. Yeah, I want to go to Earth and become a statistic. That's great. Well, what was your vacation like? Well, we went with fucking the whole family. Only came with all 5 of us, and only came back with 4 of us. Because so-and-so got ran over by a fucking greedy piece of shit that fucking ran a red light because he was robbing a fucking bank and got shot by the officer trying to shoot the fucking guy. And my kid got in the way. And how many other Earths are there? And fucking the space is infinite and there's a million planets or a trillion planets or uncountable number of planets. There must be some that are like this. You look at Star Trek and you go, well, let's go there. What are these people thinking? I don't know. We don't believe in guns or warfare or this. Go watch that old original series shit. A lot of that shit's coming true. That guy knew what he was thinking about. He was a visionary. And stop killing the fucking visionaries, you fucking dipshits. Yeah, let's promote only the greediest motherfuckers in the world and put them up in a suit and tie and say, hey, we're the ones making the rules. No. Sit down, back in the corner, motherfucker. Social problems will never be solved through those who study economics or operate in a money culture through corruption and greed. Not all of it's corruption and greed. Some of it they do philanthropy, and some of it's good for good things, but not on the whole. Not on the not in the not on the guards on the watchtower are still in place. That's the problem, right? Because they're trying to keep it contained. Because they don't understand how it's going to be if it's not contained. All they know is they don't have any control. And if they don't have any control, and there's a signal and a frequency and a vibration that's being pushed out there, that also needs to stop. Because once you stop sending that message, then we can all stop living on the concentration plant that is fucking planet Earth. Prison Planet. What was that guy? Alex. I don't know. Try not to, align yourself with whatever. Maybe he's a crackpot, maybe he's not. But one thing's for certain. If you start talking long enough and putting out your 2 cents and start realizing through common sense and not being hypocritical of yourself, or at least the things that you're saying, whether you're labeled crackpot or crazy person or fucking lunatic or maniac or madman, it doesn't matter the labels. Labels don't matter dick. The fact is, if truth comes out of their mouth because they have freedom of speech, you'll know it. It'll hit you right between the fucking eyes. Because you'll either have some experience with that, or it'll just be too fucking truthful to fucking deny. You'll just go, oh yeah, right, duh, fuck, right. Dropped a bowling ball in my foot, no wonder my fucking bones are broke. Duh, cause and effect, simple. Same thing, right? Same thing about visions, or Martin Luther King, or JFK, or fucking whoever else they fucking decided, Lincoln, or Lenin. Well, Lenin was a different thing. I mean, if they were going to shoot Lenin for his beliefs, they would have done that, his first album, I guess. I think that was a victim of tragic circumstance from the culture of somebody being completely unbalanced and didn't get their way and didn't like the things they said. And I'm sure that'll happen. But if you promote it as natural, like you do see everything else in a commercial, that probably would have never happened. I'm not a big believer in shame, but it certainly was unfortunate. Or a victim of circumstance from the cultural society that they live in. And all these hashtags this and hashtags that. My life matters, your life matters, me too this, me too that, or whatever. Fine, get it out, right? It's therapy. People are getting it out. People are releasing because they've, when you're raised with only having a television that only broadcasts one way and you can't talk back at it, and going down to the headquarters of the broadcasting station doesn't let you in because there's a guard at the gate because they don't want to change their, they don't want to rebuttal. They just want to dictate. Well, maybe I should pause here, but right? We were talking around it the other day. There's no more artists left. There's no more songs like the 70s or even the 80s for that matter. There's no songs like the 60s or the 70s where people told the story. There's no artists to make a song. And if you listen to the radio, you hear it's just static. Nobody's talking really about anything because they're hammering down the sides of the censorship in order to keep a lid on it. And if people like me and you and everybody else that agrees with this doesn't stand up and start breaking a crowbar to that nailed down lid of that coffin, it's time to pry that lid off so everybody can have a say before they can't. Like they say, think before it's illegal, right? Well, I think if it does ever get to that, that will be a tipping point, and that may be the match that starts the fuse. And who knows? It might be a short fuse. It may be a dark night, Shakespeare, but I think that can be avoided completely through rational thought. Everything can be solved through communication if communication is allowed to flow. It's that simple. So you have to fight for that. I mean, or at least you have to effort that. You don't really have to get out and put boxing gloves on or load your fucking gun or wave fucking "don't tread on me" flags, but you surely can. If the freedom, if the information is allowed to flow, the freedom of speech is allowed to flow, there's nothing we can't solve together, for sure. Like back to I was going to the aloha spirit. Give, never take. Give, Hawaiians give. They love because they for people that have no word for peace. Because they're warriors. I asked him, I said, what's the word for peace? And they told me no pelakia, which meant no war. It meant like, we have war, but we're not having it right now. So there's just no pelakia. There's not peace. There's just, we're not fighting right now because we're not conquering. But if you ever lived with them, lived around them, like I have and friends of mine have, they're just like anybody else. Nicest people on the planet. Live and let live, don't mistake my kindness as weakness. It's that simple. And that's the aloha spirit. Give, and just keep giving. You don't need anything in return. In fact, you think you need something in return is bad programming, bad information. Anyway, so I'm here. I'm going to push pause and replay back this and see what happens, and then see how if I can send it out to somebody and test it. Because I think it's about all I really want to say until something else comes up. Because issues are really irrelevant, because that's just a waste of effort and time. Excuse me. Because all the issues that are there are because of the culture. And if that culture is creating that many issues, Jesus Christ, if that culture is creating that many issues, maybe it's time to look at the culture. Hello. Right. If the culture is the root of evil or badness, then there's no sense in prolonging it or sustaining it. It's time to change it. It's like, right? Something, it's like oil and water, man. It's like something that don't belong. It's like whatever, it's detrimental, right? If it's detrimental to the growth and the harmony, then weed it the fuck out. Please leave your questions and your comments out below. Please hit subscribe if you like this thing. Blah, 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 blah. If you want to email, it's fearlessnotcareless@icloud.com or fearlessnotcareless4@gmail.com or soapboxes, etc. @icloud.com. Soapboxes, etc. Isn't that great? I love that. Yeah, let's leave it at soapboxes, etc.com. Soapboxes, ETC. All one word. @icloud.com. Give a hoot, don't pollute. Don't be a litter bug. Only you can prevent forest fire. Unless it's lightning. Mean what you say and say what you mean. There's a lot of good things. I got a lot of list of things of, those one word quote antidotes, metaphors. I'll list those out there, I guess, too, as well. I'll have to find that piece of paper somewhere. And read that list on the next episode of Fearless Not Careless. Thanks for listening. Peace and aloha and love to everyone. Teach people how to get along with one another, because we already know. We've already been taught how not to. All right. Aloha.